do it. We can try to do it. But how can we do it? How can we take over you? Yes, it can be done. What is needed is a unifying idea. An idea so strong that it will draw like a magnet all the forces, all the active forces, the creative forces of Europe. And the idea cannot be anything else than a big idea, an imperium, the greatest empire the world has ever seen. An empire girdling the globe, from Ireland to Vladivostok, beyond Bering, embracing Alaska, Canada, and the present-day America, all together in a new northern continent, Finland, as the Vikings used to call that land in the 1000s, in the 11th century. Ireland to Vladivostok, Bering, North America, huge swathes of white territory in South America, comprising Uruguay, Argentina, and our friends, the Chileans. Australia, which is under threat, increasingly so as the Chinese eye it because of its resources and empty spaces. And, of course, Southern Africa, at least from the Zambezi to Cape Aganas. Because if we don't go back there, if we don't retake that part, the Indians are looking with covetous eyes to Southern Africa. They want to disgorge their millions and supplant the Negroid over there. So we have to preempt the Indians. Ours would be a dynamic imperium. Aggrandizement, because an imperium is either expanding or dying. An imperium which is fueled by the ambition of the elite leadership, as Alistair Clark so rightly mentioned earlier on. An elite of 2,000 men, 250,000 of them high culture bearers, the pyramidical peak, the spiritual focal point, transmitting, infusing high culture down towards the base. And as you know, a slight twist of the pyramid, a slight provokes an inordinate movement at the base, a direct proportion. And that will be the power of the elite. An elite infusing a nature-oriented belief, cosmotheism. We will let the present religions carry on. Mohammedan, we don't care if an Iranian in our imperial, please. I'm speaking for myself. We don't care if Iranians are Mohammedans or Hindus or whatever. We don't care so long as they're Europeans. The four cousin sub-races, the Anglo-Saxons, the Teutons, the Slavs, and the Latins. Anybody can have his own religion. Within a few, very few years, generations, the infusion of the elite will seep down, and the nature-oriented belief will supplant these artificial religions, because they are a husk based on lies, fables and lies. Religions fit for children and slaves, they will be supplanted naturally, not through force. There's no need. The important thing is that to have that elite at the top. An organic imperium, not a fractured imperium. The India companies and all that, you know. What did you used to call it? India, whatever, Cecil Rhodes. Not that kind of imperium, but an organic imperium. Organic, spiritually, politically, culturally, you see. And last, at the very bottom, again, as Alistair said, economically, because economics will be at the very bottom of priorities in our imperium. An imperium with sealed borders, ever expanding but sealed borders, where Europeans will be able to compete in straight and fair competition amongst themselves. How can one compete? How can we ever compete with the sweatshop conditions of Bangladesh or Pakistan. It's impossible. They have another culture. They work 16 hours. They don't play. They don't care about cricket or Liverpool or Arsenal. They don't care. How can we compete against them? We can't. It's suicide, and that is globalization, the destruction of that biological aristocracy, which is the European race. In our imperium, there will be a new democracy, a democracy of aristocracy, and not an aristocracy of present-day democracy. We will have a democracy amongst peers, a democracy of aristocracy, an aristocracy not of titles and bishoprics and whatever, but an aristocracy of spirit, of character. How shall we go about it? Each in our respective country, we have to fight. We have to fight with the ballot, as we are doing in Malta, and the bullets. A total cultural war in the arts, music, theatre, universities, secondary schools. A total onslaught against this decrepit system, because the system is not as strong as it seems. It's not. They're walking on thin ice. Our adversaries, they're lying all the time. And more people, young people, are coming to us. I'm sure in Britain with the British National Party, as they do our young people in every secondary school, all Imperium Europa, the upcoming people, you see, the next wave of voters, they're with us. Because they have not yet been corrupted yet, and we can save them. A war on the internet. Don't underestimate the power of the internet. We, the right wing, everywhere, are using the internet much more cleverly, much more dynamically than the left. You see, we are, and we're winning this battle. And the internet prepares a hermetic, as Jonathan so rightly wrote once, a hermetic imperium. A hidden imperium, submerged, but they are ready to spring to service like a halcyon. And what will spark the emergence of the imperium? One win, one victory anywhere. It could be Malta. It takes a match to set a forest alight, the spark that will set Europe ablaze. Imagine having a group in Europe, speaking like we are speaking, but with the whole of Europe listening, not huddled here. What a victory it would be. We will demolish our adversaries in Europe. We will. Well, because we have better ideas. We are winning. Yes, we are winning. It seems impossible, but we are. We are gaining ground. We have appropriated the ideological high ground. In fact, our enemies do not debate us. They don't. Lately, I was invited to a seminar. People from all over Europe, Bulgaria, Romania, France, everywhere, coming to Malta to discuss hate crimes. As soon as they realize that Norman Lowell is participating, they scurried away. As Oswald Mosley used to say, they seem like a bunch of Salvation Army girls taking to the heels of Judgment Day. That's how he used to put it. You see, they dare not debate us. They were a whole array of them who were only alone, just us, you know. But they didn't debate, they dare not, because they know we are right. Why? Because we follow the path of nature. We are nature-oriented. We follow the rules of nature. Paganism, call it what we call it, cosmotheism, in deference to Dr. William Pierce. Great man. You see, they dare not, because it's ours, it's a natural way attuned to the cosmos. Eventually, the imperium, as I said, will metamorphosize this Europe. An imperium not of bankers,